All right, so this week we're gonna be doing meat, and I've chosen to do the shrimp. I'm gonna be making a shrimp scampi. And so essentially what I'm gonna be testing is that denaturation of the myofibrillar proteins. And so once they reach about 130 to 140 degrees, they start to denature, and that's how you get that tough, rubbery shrimp that doesn't taste quite as good. So we're gonna be testing that. We're gonna cook the first round just to about that point, and then we're gonna take most of it out, leave a couple in the pan, and then get them past that point so we can really tell the difference between the properly cooked shrimp and the overcooked shrimp. All right, so we got a fresh shrimp here, and they still got the tails attached to them. So all we're gonna do is take those off. What I like to do is just kind of snap it like this and pull, and then that takes the tail off. And that's about it, they're good to go. All right, so I got all the shrimp detailed and deshelled there. So now all I'm gonna do is just rinse it under the water for a couple minutes just to clean all the grub off of there. Then they'll be ready for cooking. All right, so we're gonna start by making our scampi here. For the first step, we need 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And we just want that to get to a melting point so our butter is nice and melted. So we're just gonna grab 2 tablespoons of this butter right here. Cut it up just a little bit to make it easier. And then we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're just gonna let that get all nice and melted before we move on to the next step. All right, so now that we've got our butter all melted and that's nice at temperature, we're gonna add our 4 cloves of garlic here. So since we're scooping out of here, half a teaspoon is equal to a clove, so we're gonna do 2 teaspoons in here. There's the first, and there's the second. Then we're just gonna let this simmer for just a little bit until we really start to smell it. Only about a minute, and then we'll move on to that next step. All right, so now that that's nice and simmered, we're gonna go ahead and add our white wine here, half a cup. And we're gonna add some of our seasonings. So we got some black pepper here, plenty of black pepper. A little bit of salt. And we're gonna let that reduce down a little bit for just a couple minutes here. Let it simmer. And then we'll be just about ready to put that shrimp in. All right, so as you can see, that wine is reduced for a couple minutes there. And so now we're ready to throw in our shrimp. These are gonna cook for only just a few minutes here. You're gonna need to turn that heat up a little bit. And these are gonna cook for a couple minutes. Once they turn about pink, that means they're good to go. So we're gonna take some of them out, and then we're gonna finish off with just 2 or 3 shrimp to overcook just to see how the texture and the taste differs. All right, so as you can see here, we got our shrimps nice and pink. They are all good to go. So I'm gonna take out most of these, and we're gonna leave a couple in there and just overcook them just to see how that temperature changes. How that temperature changes the texture and the flavor. All right, so as you can see, we got our overcooked shrimp here and our normal shrimp here. I'm gonna go ahead and just taste these real quick just to see the difference. So we'll do a regular one first. Nice and tender, very flavorful. Go ahead and do overcooked shrimp next. So the overcooked ones are definitely a lot tougher. They definitely lost a little bit of that flavor that we had in the regular shrimp. So you can really see the effects that protein degradation had on the shrimps. So yeah, really interesting experiment. Definitely learned a lot about meat and how they're cooked. And so now we're gonna go ahead and enjoy a nice shrimp scampi meal.